Welcome to Phil and Bob's Treehouse.
The Central Park trees covered in snow. Over the Hudson, the sunset glow. The smell of halal and jasmine rice creep on the corner. Don't look so nice. Now he's pooping. Why, I don't know. Life's full of mysteries. Now it's time for the show.
Hi, I'm Phil.
Hi, I'm Bob.
We live in New York City, home to the highlights, the lowlights, and everything in between. This is our take on the human carnival.
It's summertime.
Yes.
It's after Memorial Day.
Yes.
And I'm excited for the summer. Are you?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
I know you go up to Cape Cod.
We spend some time up in Cape Cod.
Yes, and I don't talk about it as much. I'm more private. But I have several years ago, I purchased a modest cottage in Connecticut.
Is that what you call it?
It's a cottage. Much like the Breakers in Newport, perhaps.
Yes. Yeah.
But there's a lot of wildlife up there.
Yes.
And I've had two really incredible experiences with wildlife in the last week.
Well, you texted me something.
Well, yeah, I texted you about the bear, but we'll get to that second.
Okay.
The first one is about a bird.
Yes.
A remarkable little bird that it has like neon blue iridescent feathers that like combined with some sort of like burnt orange kind of. I've never seen this kind of bird before.
You just saw one of them, or
it's the same bird. It's one bird.
Yeah.
And the reason I noticed it is one night there was some banging on the window, and I felt that maybe I was under this was a home invasion or something. But it was the daytime, and I looked, and this bird was just banging into the window, kind of like flying into it with aggressive stance and flapping its wings. I surmise, using my naturalist skills.
You are a naturalist.
Somewhat of an amateur naturalist. That this bird had seen its reflection and was fighting itself.
That's what you think was going on?
Well, I can't think of another reason.
Did you go right to Google?
I did go to Google, but then I guess for the next several days, at least once a day, I would see this bird just flying repeatedly into a window, not the same window even, just a different window.
Well, they have that problem in New York, right? Like where the birds flying into the skyscrapers and the glass.
But in that situation, they're in transit. In this situation, it chose to come over and repeatedly bang itself.
And it's not just a nighttime thing?
It wasn't at night. It's all in the daytime.
Oh, I thought you heard it at night.
No, sorry. If I said that, sorry, that was maybe I misspoke. But no, it's all of these were in the daytime. And then the way I get to stop is I stick my head up right in the window and I wave, and then the bird flies away.
So what do you, in your opinion as an ornithologist, what's your view of what's going on?
I don't think it's trying to transit. It's not like migrating because it actually, I see it hangs out on a certain telephone pole.
Yeah. Okay.
And it flies down occasionally to fight itself.
Huh.
And
maybe it's got like it's like neurotic.
Well, here's the thing is, then I thought maybe there's a lesson, for humanity here, where this bird flies and sees its own reflection and it's fighting with itself.
Right. Okay.
And I don't know. I can't put my finger on what that lesson would be. And then I thought maybe, you know what it is?
Yeah.
It's just always be prepared to fight. That's the lesson I think that this bird has taught us.
What?
That you just always be prepared to fight, even if it's your own shadow.
You think?
Yeah.
So you don't think it's a neurotic bird? He's got some kind of like...
He's got OCD.
OCD? Yeah, he has a compulsion to go and hit the window 10 times and then come back?
Yeah, like if he doesn't hit the window 10 times, then like...
He gets nervous.
Yeah, he gets nervous.
And it's just by himself? It's not in a family or
I don't think it's in a family.
What sort of bird is this?
I don't know. That's why if one of our listeners, one of our many thousands of listeners can tell us... I have a field guide to bird identification.
I wonder, because we do know some guy up there in Cape. He's sort of likes bird watching. He's surprisingly good at like identifying birds and stuff. Yeah. So it's possible to identify, and then maybe you can see if they have they tend towards like neurotic behavior
or obsessive.
It seems odd.
Yeah.
So when was the last time this happened?
This one maybe like a week ago.
And you still see him there?
I still see him there, yeah.
And you just
but the neuroticism has calmed down, I guess, in the last several days.
Birds, I've never been, a bird person, but I know that, I guess if you spend enough time like just sitting around up in somewhere in like a rural area.
Yeah.
Like, because we're in the city all the time. And I remember a couple of years ago, I think my wife was sitting, she tends to sit on that, we have a porch there. Mm-hmm. And like over the course of time, summer, like one family built like a little nest, like under the eave there and just raised the kids. And so it was a blue jays, or I don't know what it was, some kind of blue bird, I think.
Yeah.
So I guess if you spend enough time, she just got to, have a certain feeling for the birds. Okay. I guess.
Kind of like My Octopus Teacher, the documentary.
Yeah. That, a sort of small version of that.
Yes.
Yes. Well, and in New York, you don't really get to, like, you don't see, like, you don't say I see the same rat like regularly, you know,
or it's a pigeon.
Maybe the neighborhood dog or something.
Yeah, but there's no There's no free roaming.
And all pigeons look like
animal that you want to
adopt,
interact with,
hang out with.
You never see a kid trying to pet a pigeon.
No. There's not that kind of. It's not that fun.
Yeah.
So that's the bird, and then what happened with the bear?
So a couple of days ago, as you know, I texted you because it was an amazing sight.
Yeah, that's crazy.
A bear just kind of strolled through my front yard.
Yeah.
And it was a big black bear.
Is the first one you've seen there?
It's the first one I've ever seen, like in the wild.
Yeah.
Not in a zoo or
That's
something.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Very large, huh?
It was large. I think it was like. It had to have been like probably 350 pounds.
Are they dangerous or no?
Well, they say that black bears are scared of humans and they don't attack humans. They're not like grizzly bears, the brown bears, or polar bears, which are even more deadly.
Yeah.
So the black bears are the ones that you can scare off, make yourself large, make noise. And I watched a lot of videos after that because I was like, well, what happens if I happen to be outside and the bear crosses my path?
That's true.
Almost everyone says that black bears are not a threat. And they even went so far to say that it's also a myth with black bears that if you get between the cub and the mom, that it's that dangerous. The black bear's response in that situation is to send their cubs up the tree.
Yeah.
And the mom runs away selflessly to draw the danger away from the tree.
Wow.
So shout out to all the moms out there.
They had a real gene split. I don't know where.
And the dad is nowhere to be found, by the way. Just
go,
shouting back to my episodes about marital non-cohabitation. The guy did say in one of the most informative videos, which is a slideshow done by the Virginia Department of Energy and Environmental Protection.
Okay, yeah. It was like what to do, you mean? Or?
Yeah, well, he said that, he's the guy that said that the only dangerous black bear is a black bear that for some reason is a predatory black bear that has somehow come to believe or view humans as food.
Oh, well, maybe because he's hungry? Or no?
Well, he couldn't really. It sounds like it's a 1 in a 10,000 chance.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, the bear. And he couldn't really explain it, but it was essentially the bear gets habituated to humans. He's dumpster diving. He sees people around the suburbs, etc. And then one day it's like it flips a switch, I guess, and he starts viewing humans as food.
Oh. When has that ever happened?
It's actually, there was a story of some college kids in Jersey that were on a hike. And the poor young fellow was killed and partially digested by a black bear in New Jersey.
Recently?
This was like maybe 10 years ago or so.
Did they find the bear?
They found the bear, and I guess they found the unfortunate victim. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
And not all of them was there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you.
So being an amateur naturalist, began to hypothesize about what would turn a bear into a predatory bear.
Yeah.
And I think I have a theory.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
You seem skeptical, but I think that this one, I'm going to submit a letter maybe to the journal Nature.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know, I think I've mentioned this to you before, that I don't eat ham.
I think, you said because it looks like just primitive or
Well, I had read in an article about the cannibal tribes of Papua New Guinea.
Right.
That they, in their language, they call cooked human long pig.
Yeah.
Because apparently we humans our flesh tastes like pork.
But you wouldn't eat like a pork chop?
I wouldn't eat a pork chop. I don't like any fleshy pork. So, but after I read that, I couldn't eat ham or like a baked ham, even ham slices, pork chop, pork loin. I love bacon.
A piece of
like
pepperoni.
fried bacon, pepperoni. That's fine. If it's processed and it doesn't look like it came,
right.
It doesn't look like flesh. But so my hypothesis is that when a black bear eats bacon or ham in the trash and has tasted pork, and then maybe is orphaned and has no guidance from a parent to teach them to stay away from humans, that they have had the taste of pork, and then their sense of smell is like 1,000 times stronger than the dogs. So then they sniff a human and they're like, wait, this tastes this guy smells just like that ham I pulled out of the dumpster.
Oh, you think?
So that is my hypothesis.
Well, I mean, why would
you heard it here first.
But it could be like a burger or something.
No, but I'm saying if there happens to be ham in the trash, and then he eats it, that pork smells like human because we're the long pig. So it begins to associate humans.
But why do those
food.
people think that humans are like pigs?
Apparently, but just from taste,
because they've tried both.
They've tried because these are cannibals. So they.
Well, maybe maybe they have weird taste buds.
No, I mean that's.
Why would you trust their culinary?
Well, because
their
they're the only they're the control group,
right?
No, we're the control group. We haven't tasted flesh. They're the variable group. They have tasted human flesh and pork, and they decided to call cooked human the long pig.
We need to. Someone has to expand that group, that control group, I guess.
So you're gonna.
I mean, are you?
You're willing to try? I'm not willing.
Will you chop off a small piece of your own flesh?
No.
Your toe.
I will take the word of these anthropologists that went and spoke to these Papua New Guinea tribespeople.
Yeah.
And there you have it. That's my theory. I think a bear eats some sort of pork product in a dumpster.
Okay.
Then sniffs a human the next day, and he's like, "Wait, those smells are very familiar."
The bears but I thought they just basically eat anything. Like, don't they just eat? It's like
they're omnivores. They're true omnivores.
So I don't think they have discerning palates. I think that they would.
Yeah, and in fact, most of their diet they're herbivores mostly.
Right. Yeah,
but they'll eat small mammals, and then when they come into conflict with humans, they quickly learn where there's a nutrient-rich, easy meal in a garbage, in a restaurant dumpster or like a suburban garbage can that's left out. So
you haven't seen this bear since, I guess.
I've seen the bear twice.
Really?
Yeah,
the same one.
Same one.
Huh.
So again, though, but outside, mostly I stay in the back that's fenced.
Yes.
But you know what? I'm not afraid. I'm not. Famous last words, but 99.9% of the time they're not going to do anything to you.
Yeah.
I hope people haven't been leaving out bacon in their trash.
Yeah,
and
you could try it. Throw some bacon to see what happens.
I'll put it on the neighbor's lawn. Get it habituated to the neighbor.
All right. Well, maybe you'll see that thing over the summer again. I mean, good news, they hibernate in the rest of the year.
Yes.
Right. So
yes, they hibernate in the winter.
Where do they hibernate? It's like a suburban bear.
Well, there
in
is.
The woods
well, I don't.
It's not
where
that
I am is not the suburbs,
rural,
but there's. But there are houses there,
Yeah.
So that goes off into the woods. There's a huge state park at the end of my road, or it's a state forest, and I think that's where the bears live. I mean, that's where they should hang out. They should avoid us.
Speaking of, I guess we are heading. Well, when we go to Cape Cod, we only, the threat, I suppose, resides in the oceans.
Yeah, we'll do. We have to do it. We got to do Shark Week.
Shark Week.
We're gonna have a Shark Week.
So I guess we'll see. Week. I mean, I noticed that. I believe it was today. The other day there was. Did you see that in Florida? There were 2 attacks within 90 minutes.
That was
2 shark attacks.
It was right next to where.
Oh, where you were for
your
wedding?
Yeah, for the wedding. The niece of my current girlfriend of 12 and a half years.
Were those bull sharks?
They were bull sharks.
Those are bad
they're
ones.
So aggressive and nasty.
Good. Yeah, that's bad.
They're the pit bulls.
They got really those victims were severely injured.
They're maimed. Dude. They lost limbs.
Yes. It's not like, sometimes you read these attacks. It's like, it was attacked, but, a couple stitches. It was like amputation and stuff.
And they were not very far out, so.
Yes.
Are you going to go in the ocean this summer?
I go in the ocean, and I don't go deep. And But the threat is out there.
Even in waist deep water. So
that's true. So we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Once again.
Julio.
One more summer. And
roll the dice.
You roll the dice. All right. I guess that's it. That's
all right. See you after Labor Day.
Bye.
Now, Freddie's woman, she done something she had never done before. She was in the bed with another man, made Fred splattered on the floor. He got mad, he got banged with his gun in his hand. Freddie's woman saw him coming, went and fell down on her knees. I can hear her crying now, Freddie, spare my life if you please. I know you're mad, you got bad with your gun in your hand.
Courtyards.
Okay, courtyards?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Well, when we walk on the streets here in New York.
Of Manhattan?
Yes, in Manhattan, or any borough.
Yes.
Right? It's just you don't think of it. You just walk and you are observing what is in front of you.
The facades.
The facades of the buildings.
The apartment buildings,
yes.
Mostly, yeah.
No one really ever thinks about the fact that it's a grid system, right?
Right.
And so there's cross streets, there's streets and avenues.
Yep.
And it's divided in blocks.
Very orthogonal in layout. If you don't know that word, look it up. SAT word.
Yes. Actually, I've heard that word. I've done this as an aside, like a sort of a YouTube rabbit hole to help put me to sleep kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Those like math professor videos from college?
Like Khan Academy.
I heard that guy, Edward Witten,
Yeah.
that Princeton like weird genius. Yeah. And he was talking about orthogonal stuff the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, getting back to this situation, there's
orthogonal system, a grid,
right,
would lead to these little holes or courtyards in the middle of the blocks.
Right, in the middle.
Yeah.
So we're on a grid system. So as you walk, you're focused on the facade, but no one thinks about actually there is a whole world in the middle of these blocks.
Yeah.
Right.
And sometimes beautiful like gardens and things like in some parts of the Upper East Side, I think behind those fancy townhouses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's actually, and this, I kind of got interested, like this is maybe like a few years ago because, in Soho on Sullivan and Thompson.
Yes.
I think those are adjacent blocks. Mm-hmm. And in between the blocks.
Yes.
Is like, I guess it's well known. It's these like painted townhouses.
Yep.
And in the middle, on either side, and in the middle is actually like a park.
Yeah, like a private
they
park.
Share, all those people share that thing, which would be crazy.
And shout out, I think, from reading the Post, I know one of those houses belongs to Anna Wintour.
Anna Wintour, the famed Vogue editrix.
Yes. We're hitting all the New York buzzwords today.
Yeah, no, I think I think they've had famous people living. I think Mick Jagger may have lived there. Yeah. Some famous folks. So that would be kind of cool to investigate. Someone has to let me in, so I can just run around and look in the back. I just to go back and check it out.
Yes. We should put on ascots when there's maybe an open house and British accents. And tell them we're there to investigate the property.
And but I mean, all these blocks. I mean, yes. And sometimes when I walk on the street and you can pass a big townhouse. I mean, you look through the doorway and you can see all the way. Some of these houses have a layout. You can look all the way through. And it looks see all the way back, and these trees and stuff is super nice. Anyway, I thought of it the other day because I was just sitting in the back here in the apartment, and I looked out. I looked out our window in the back. There is a courtyard which I don't look out. It's just an air shaft, really. And I saw, but there's on the back of another building.
Yep.
And the building has like these terraces in the back, and people put like bikes and stuff. They store them, but they put flower pots and because there's an occasional sun, not much, but like a little bit. And I saw some woman. I was just sitting there reading, and I looked at the back, and she was sweeping her terrace.
Okay.
And the dust off, and putting flower, and then watering the flowers.
Yeah.
And then like she was pouring water onto the surface of her terrace.
Yeah.
To like get something off. And I heard someone go, "Hey!" And I looked down, and she like poured water on some guy on the who was on the bottom. You know?
In a terrace or on the street?
No,
like
all
in
the
the
way
courtyard?
down, like 8 floors down. I guess, and I looked down, and some guy, his apartment, he's on the ground floor.
Oh, so he had a whole patio.
He had
backyard.
a patio set
Okay.
up, and I've always been like, why the fuck? Because in our old apartment, it was an air shaft, even smaller air shaft, and we were, I think, on the 3rd floor, and I looked down, and some people get patio furniture, like couches and stuff, where there's literally no light. Like it's in perpetual dark. And so I was always wondering why people do that, because it seems unpleasant to sit there. And it also was a little annoying because the sound travels up those tunnels back there, and they would talk later. Even if it was a conversation of like 2 people.
Yeah, it
and
echoes.
It echoed, and we hear it everything. And then it'd be like 2 a.m. I hear some guy go lean his head out, go, "Shut up! Shut the fuck up!"
And that's New York for you, baby. Well, to answer your question, I think that is how badly New Yorkers are starved for just some connection to nature, so that
they don't have the bird that you have banging on the window.
If you have a tiny little terrace, then you'll try to make use of it, even if it gets a sliver of sun 1 hour a day.
I mean, I get the terrace more than I get the guy on the ground floor
because
they're literally in darkness.
Well, I guess it would depend on
if the sun is completely vertical at one point in the day, I guess.
Yeah. I guess if you're in a low-rise area, like the back of my apartment, actually, it gets some. Yeah, because it backs up to Elizabeth Street, which has small townhouses and stuff. So,
have you ever seen anything there?
No, I mean it is gross. Like it's just it's a courtyard, but there's nothing pretty. It's just a bunch of shared backyards. Yeah, and so there is sun, but I've never sat on the terrace there ever. No. When I used to smoke, cigarettes. Yeah. I would go out there, to pollute the air. Yeah. Other than that, though, I don't see a use for it.
No, the roof thing seems more like a better idea. Yeah, if you happen to have a roof, option,
access to a roof
for outdoor or space, or just now that it's summer, back to the parks and
go to your local public park.
Yes, I guess I saw in the post the other day that the public pool we used to go to sometimes. I would be so mad. Like is now once again I guess it's been under renovation for like 3 years, and they just said you can't use it this summer because we're fixing it.
I think they do that.
Neighbors were like mad about that.
I know they do that to just chase people off. So people will forget about it, and maybe they don't ever have to reopen it. You know why? Because after our last episode, shout out to our sailing segment. Yeah. I looked online. The 79th Street Boat Basin is like indefinitely closed. They've kicked everybody out of there. Yeah, but they're apparently renovating it.
Well, but if you have a house there,
I guess maybe they relocated.
They evict you.
Well, there's another city-owned boat dock in Dykeman up in.
So if you have to live on a boat,
I guess you had to move your boat up there, but they kicked everyone out of 79th Street.
I didn't know that.
Well, that's a good idea, though, because I'm going to put myself on the wait list. Apparently, it's like 2028 it's going to reopen.
Really?
I'm going to get my houseboat.
Who do you pay rent to?
The New York City, the New York Parks Department. I went down a rabbit hole. I looked, and it's like, for the summer season, it's like $3,000.
No, people don't live there. People live there year round, I think.
I know, but for like the summer, it's $3,000. It's like $1,000 for every other month, all the other months combined.
It's I think, and this is back to what we talked about. For everybody, there's a boat, houseboats on the Hudson, on 79th Street. I mean, it's kind of a tough way to live in a sense, like in terms of just inconvenient. Let me put it that way.
Unless you have a sense of adventure. And also I looked it up. It doesn't have to be houseboats. You could have a long-term thing, and you could have a sailboat, and you go up the Hudson and move it, and it's like your permanent. It's like a parking spot. Yeah. It's your monthly parking spot.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess the winter would be a little chilly, but you have to. It's operated. You get propane.
I didn't get that deep into it, but
anyway.
Well, it's quite silly, Phil. In the winter, you'd go down to the Bahamas.
I forgot about that option.
Bimini, the Virgin Gorda. Don't be such a bore.
So that's the back of our grid discussion. Do you have any other about
Courtyards?
Courtyard comments?
No, I I think in New York, everybody loves that idea of the secret garden, because this place is an asphalt jungle. So anytime there's this unexpected piece of green, even if it's not accessible to you,
I know.
it kind of makes you happy.
I know. I'm fascinated by that spot in Soho, that shared park.
Right.
I mean,
you should climb the fence and get arrested.
I mean, if you live on an adjacent building, I've walked by there that overlooks it. You can see what's going on. I just want to see kind of what it looks like. Maybe I should get a drone, I guess. But I wonder if they use it. What if you don't like your neighbor? That's annoying. That would be annoying.
Yeah.
But
we should write Anna Wintour a letter, a note.
She'll have us over for some.
Dear Anna.
Yes. She'll invite us to one of her. If she has events, I don't know.
Well, also isn't she always the chair of the
Met Gala?
Met Gala. Yeah.
Yes.
Don't get me started on that. We should do a whole episode on the Met Gala.
The Met Gala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Every day I spend my time drinking wine, feeling fine, waiting here to find the sign that I can understand. Yes, I am.
So every day I spend my time drinking wine, feeling fine, waiting here to find the sign that I should take it slow. Off again, there he go to another dimension. My mind, body, soul in prison. My eye, probably going ballistic, but listen, I'm missing a couple of screws. They ain't never do drilling, Drew. You've been zipping away at the truth. The double side of wisdom, rolling, hitting switch, rolling dishes, blowing kisses to the holding biscuits. What's the business? Beat the system, code the business.
This is we'll wrap it up today with some food talk.
Okay, good.
So here's a little tip for everybody.
Okay.
Do you enjoy sautéed fish?
I do.
What forms?
I think I've told you this in the past. I like
white?
I like fish with white flesh when cooked, like
a swordfish or something.
No, like flounder, halibut, cod, a little flakier.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, not too tough.
Not like a like a tuna.
Like tuna and salmon, I prefer raw. I eat sashimi or donburi or whatever.
Here is something that I came upon in one of my cookbooks.
Okay.
And it's a recipe from a guy who used to be the chef at a sort of a famous seafood restaurant in the city.
Okay.
And it's a collection of recipes from different chefs in the city. And this guy has like 3 or 4 in the book. It is a recipe for, I think it's tuna. You could do this with salmon or anything else, really. But everything bagels?
Yes. I just had one this morning.
What a coincidence.
With a schmear.
I was in our local bagel place maybe last week, and there was a tour group. Not even a famous bagel place. It's Bob's Bagel. It's not even that famous, but like the guy was taking people on a tour of the neighborhood, and he was like, "This is going to be our first stop. Here we will get everything bagels." He said, "You can get it. It's a certain type of coating that has all kinds of." And it was a tour group of people from like Sweden or something.
Oh, really?
They're Nordic. They're like everything bagel. Yeah.
It's everything a bagel.
So maybe that only exists here. I don't know. That was originated. But the point here is, this guy. You take your piece of fish and you lay out a big amount of that spice or whatever you want.
Everything bagel seasoning.
The seasoning. And you just coat both sides, and then you cook it in the pan with
pan-sear it.
Pan-sear it, and it makes it literally elevates the protein.
Because of the crunchiness.
It's
like the
crunchy.
So it changes the texture.
Texture. Like I wouldn't even cook tuna anymore without it on it.
I love everything bagels. Right? It's like it's like a little garlic, onion.
Yeah, it's garlic, onion, sesame seed, poppy seed, and there's cumin or something. I don't know, but like if you. Now if I'll try a piece of tuna, it tastes bland without it on it. Like,
I know.
It's like having a plain bagel with no...
I feel that, and this guy was like a chef at a celebrated
famous
restaurant.
chef, a chef at a famous
because I feel like some people who are maybe putting on airs, they would look down on everything bagel seasoning.
I know, but and it has he has a sauce recipe with it, but that's irrelevant. Like this is, I mean,
all you need is the pans. I like the sound of this.
Yeah. And
that sounds simple.
Yes.
Have you tried it with salmon or just with tuna?
I tried it with salmon too.
It tasted good?
Yeah, equally good actually.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right.
I think That's it. Oh, there was one other food thing I wanted to say.
Okay.
By the way, you know what would be an interesting restaurant to start to open?
Which is what?
Like would be medieval cuisine. Oh, they have medieval times, don't they?
Yeah. But I think they like it's not really the food people go for. They go for the jousting.
They go for the. I went there once. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I had an odd. If you're done with your,
I'm done.
Medieval.
Yeah.
I had just a very quick odd thought this past week.
Yeah.
It doesn't really have to do with New York at all. Kind of a little bit because I was thinking of like the Chinese restaurants that you find like everywhere.
Right.
Like not the fancy ones, but like the hardcore. Like
what do you mean? Like
the takeout only
with the pictures and outside the city?
Yeah. And I don't know, I was watching this documentary about Antarctica.
Yeah.
And I was like, and like what they eat there and who runs the naval base there or the scientific station.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? You know who could make a restaurant work there is Chinese people. Like there should be like they should fly out a Chinese family to run like a 24-hour Chinese restaurant in Antarctica. I guarantee you that they would turn a profit out there.
No, I mean you literally Chinese restaurants exist in every corner of this country.
Why not Antarctica?
No reason really, unless I mean if the customers are there, it will survive.
Yeah. So
there's one in Provincetown.
To the owner of the #1 Magic Wok restaurant in Bed-Stuy, you should open one in Antarctica.
Well,
get in touch.
That's the other thing I was going to say. Actually, I thought about the other day, which is like I don't even really like to. I object. I don't order too much food anymore. Actually, like
you just cook.
Deliver out. Yeah, we go out once in a while, but yeah, I just cook because like I have a weird objection to like ordering food that I feel like I may as well like make. Like,
so you're talking about like takeout, DoorDash.
But I can't. Okay. I will order like Chinese food because I can't make it that good.
Yeah,
like dumplings, all that stuff. But it's like because those guys just spend their like ethnic.
Yeah, and
food,
you don't have a wok.
No,
do you?
I do have a wok, but like, and it's okay. I can use it, but like ethnic food, like Indian, Chinese, that kind of stuff, I got no problem. Because that's like a whole culture.
Well, right. I agree with you because right now you're espousing the rationale for free trade among nations. It's just everybody should be producing what they're best at.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So and export and relying on imports for the other stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe this is a small way.
Yeah.
An argument.
Shout out to the P Pan-Pacific Partnership Trade Agreement.
Yeah. So
negotiated in the dog days of the Obama presidency.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my I don't order. I order dumplings from 3 times.
Yeah,
which is good.
3 times Chinese.
That's what it's called. 3 times Chinese. Yeah.
But they're like dumpling, smaller large.
Oh my god.
Smaller large.
Yeah. That's all they do all day. It's like if and they're super good at it.
In that,
it's like the dumpling lady on Moscow, whatever street in Chinatown.
Yeah. And you're good with the everything bagel fish.
Yeah. So anyway, hopefully that little thing helped. Take that recommendation.
I'm going to actually. A lot of times you say things. And it really.
It's easy.
I'm smiling and I'm nodding. And it's just in one ear and out the other fucking ear. Okay. But I'm telling you sincerely that this is a recipe I tried, particularly because
it's super easy. It takes
easy.
like a second.
Yeah, no, because as you know,
the only difficulty is just finding the everything bagel spice.
Yeah, where does that
they have it in like
at every supermarket?
No, I don't know. They had it at Wegmans.
Okay,
and
I'm sure it'll be at the supermarket.
Probably.
All right.
Well, so just give it a shot.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Finally, a good recommendation.
Finally.
Yeah.
It only took 2 years.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's it.
Okay.
Anything else going on?
No, I'm just breaking out the white pants for the summer.
For your garden party? I remember last summer, I just discovered this.
What?
That in Provincetown.
Yeah, the homosexual mecca.
Apparently at the end of the season, we're not even there anymore. But well, I guess that would be Labor Day.
Yes.
Right? They have there's a whole subculture of like wealthy gays up there.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of, because we don't live there.
Yeah.
So I am not privy to the politics. Like I read the paper online. There's like a weekly or a bi-weekly local.
The P-Town Weekly.
The Provincetown Independent. But so I know a little bit, but apparently there's a lot of stuff going on, as is everywhere.
Yeah.
Where small
wherever
town,
there's like a insular culture. Yeah.
And
disposable
and the
income.
stakes are either very low or very, I don't know. Yeah. So Like, and it's a small population, and there's apparently a lot of conflict that I had no idea about. But so there's a lot of gentrification going on up there. A lot of wealthy gay folks, whereas I guess apparently 30 years ago it was more of the seafaring,
the seafaring gays. Yeah.
No, I don't. I think this the sea people, like the fishermen.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the seafaring gays versus wealthy gays. Yeah. I think these are the yachting gays, maybe, or they bought big estates.
Right, and we're not there's gays in every part of society.
That's
right,
true.
and now they can be more open.
That's true.
And we're all for that.
Right,
we are LGBTQIA plus allies here at Phil and Bob's Treehouse.
That's true.
We've made that clear since episode 1.
So apparently, at the end of the summer, one of these wealthy gay folks, has some
a David Geffen type.
I think he has a house
like a
one
Barry
of those people.
Diller.
Yes.
Yeah, or not Barry. I guess Barry's.
Well, actually, Barry was in the paper the other day. It was a feature about his quote unquote wife,
Diane von Furstenberg.
And first of all, she lives. They don't live together in the city.
That's
Did you
a
know
shock.
That? He lives uptown and she lives downtown.
Okay,
but they share a place, like I think in Connecticut, maybe.
Okay.
But he was quoted in that article saying like we're in love and like we have a real relationship and stuff.
Yeah, but not sexual.
No, I think
we're gonna get sued. This is our path to publicity. Finally,
I think that I don't know, but I think he was hinting that they have a full relationship, like in all senses.
Okay, so then he's bisexual then.
Okay,
yeah.
But anyway, so yes, apparently it's called like some guy has a party, like a white party where all the wealthy gays wear fancy white stuff.
Okay.
Before end of the summer, right?
Yeah, but it has to be before Labor Day.
Right. So I guess it's right before Labor Day. We're not there.
Are you trying to get an invite this year or what?
No. Well, it's funny though, because it's that I was there maybe last year and they had party photos from this party.
And it
was on a big lawn. And some people had normal like white pants and shirt. And then of course it's like, other people had less normal, like more
normal by your standards. Okay,
yes,
not by an objective standard. God damn it,
more
Phil.
exotic.
Have you learned nothing in the last several years?
That's true. More like
just out the flamboyant,
revealing, exotic.
Like just stuff.
White.
Perhaps not in your wheelhouse.
That's true.
In your comfort zone. But for other people, it's what they wear.
Well, as from my experience, it's an odd kind of thing because I hadn't spent this much time near like a mecca of a certain type of person before, say, 8-10 years ago.
Yeah. And it is, I mean, we're not exact. I mean, Provincetown, I think, people, it's become very associated. Yeah. Yes. I mean, there have been documentaries, like Vice had like a funny
That's true. On the Bear Week.
Bear Week, yeah.
And so, but it's like literally any excuse for a party.
Yeah.
And they go bananas. Like, it's like the most minor event. It's like end of the summer, wear white.
Yep.
And it becomes this like fucking thing where you wear like peacock feathers out of your ass. Like it's just like, it's like no one said go nuts.
Yeah.
Just fucking put on a white shirt and pants.
Yeah.
But no, it's like you take the invitation and you turn it into like an excuse to go,
Yeah.
So that's the mentality, for better or worse.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Judge not, lest ye be judged. Okay. So tolerance, inclusion, respect.
Yes, agreed.
Diversity.
Get everything bagel, crusted tuna, salmon. That's my suggestion.
And bear meat.
Goodbye.
Well, that's the show, folks. Our theme song was performed by Echo Strada. He's an incredible Brooklyn-based artist creating psychedelic alternative music. Check him out on Spotify, Apple Music, and iTunes.
The Central Park trees covered in snow. Over the Hudson, the sunset glow. The smell of halal and jasmine rice. Creep on the corner, don't look so nice. Now he's pooping, why I don't know. Life's full of mysteries, now it's time for the show.
That was fucking awesome!
That was all right.
Yes!